Hello, hello, good people. Hello, welcome back to another episode of Make America Think Again with Vaughn. Um, and car conversations, car conversations, depending upon whether or not you can see my face or just hear my voice. Welcome to you all. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. And please, click that like button down there at the bottom. Also subscribe to the channel, please. I got a number, I got a target. So please help me out. Okay, so when did America become Israel's bitch? Is it just me? But I really feel like America, if not already, we are becoming Israel's bitch. Like, why are we sending all our money? Why are we in this blind support of Satan Yahoo? Why are we continuing to fund a genocide in Gaza? Why? So, number one thing I saw today was these videos of, well, let me start. The first one I saw earlier this week was Netanyahu had come in town, come to New York, come in the U.S., and was talking to social media influencers and talking about, now that, the dude who purchased TikTok is a big Zionist Israel person, right? And so he was talking about, this success in purchasing TikTok, and then they have control and a big platform on X. And he was talking to these influencers. It is also my understanding that these influencers for Israel get paid $7,000 per post. $7,000 per post. And there's also a young man who has already been lined up to take the place of CK over at the Turning Point. And this young man was, the videos that I saw, if you all do not follow or watch, I watch other podcasts all the time. I've Had It podcast. Do yourself a favor and follow these ladies and watch their podcasts. Amazing. But back to this kid. So on day one, literally hours after CK was murdered, this young man was on Fox News. And he was going on about how CK was his mentor, he looked up to him, etc. But he immediately pivoted to him moving into his position or taking his place. And then shortly thereafter, like within a couple of days, he's on a private jet flying to, I believe he said Arkansas, to a college campus to go talk to them on a college campus. He's on a PJ and he's wearing a Rolex. He's sitting there like I don't know, this kid looks to be like 18, 19 years old. And, it's just one of those things that make you say, who's funding all this? Now, like I've said, Turning Point has money. Turning Point was started, the same situation happened. Somebody, very wealthy individual in his 70s, picked CK out of a lot of people and decided, hey, I'm gonna put a bunch of money behind you, because he heard him talk about something not aligned with Turning Point's messaging. And it eventually shifted into what became Turning Point. So Charlie Kirk was funded, and apparently this kid is being funded as well. And so it just made me say, wow. So you had a kid who had some little podcast on, because he said he started at 11 years old. That's when CK started paying interest in him, or mentoring him. And now he's on a private jet. He's wearing a Rolex and he's talking about all these events, but literally CK isn't even in the ground yet. So then the third video I see of this kid is, I'm going to get the name of this kid, is he's really promoting Israel. He's like, we got to get on these college campuses because they're going against, um, Jewish people and Israel, and we really got to get them. And he says Israel in this video, I think about 7 to 8 times back to back. And he's doing some weird zooming in, zooming out thing that was just really messing with me as well in this video. But I kept hearing Israel, 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 Israel. All roads keep leading back to Israel, right? So you have also this week, we heard some of the students from Northwestern University, about 300 students actually, are unable to go to classes and be enrolled or register for their classes because they have not taken some new test or mini course or agreed to some, like there's some little test that they have to take or some sort of agreement that they have to sign with the college that is about anti-Semitism. And again, it's the same thing that, like I will not protest against Israel or something like that. So, they're trying to require this on college campuses when college campuses are all about freedom of speech, freedom of thought. It's really about getting young people to where they critically think about a myriad of different topics. As my role as a professor is really, yes, I'm giving them information about the subject of psychology, the field of psychology, but I'm also preparing them to critically think about everything around them in the world. Honestly, that is my number one goal, right? So you have college campuses now requiring that students sign this agreement, again, kind of paying their allegiance to Israel, and students are at Northwestern University, at least, are refusing some. We, the US, we don't have universal health care here. And as a matter of fact, because of this government shutdown, people are about to lose their health insurance, not only because of this shutdown, but also because that big BS bill that passed. People are about to either lose their health insurance, or if you have insurance and you pay a deductible, it's about to go crazy through the roof. Your monthly payments are going to, if not double, they will triple. And these letters are apparently going out as soon as November 1st. Okay? But I'm saying that all to say, we Americans, our tax dollars pay for Israel to have universal health care. People in Israel have universal health care, and they can go to college for free on America's dime. We pay for their health care, we pay for their college, and we are paying for them to commit genocide. We're their bitch. We are Israel's bitch. Right now, also, you have the flotillas that were trying to make it into Gaza just to bring food and supplies. They have been captured. Some of them have been captured. These ships have been captured by the IDF, and they have taken Americans. They have taken American veterans hostage and are holding them in jail cells or prison. And no one from America, no one in DC is trying to get them out. These are American hostages. And it would appear that those folks in DC are okay with Israel holding Americans hostage. And I also, Greta Thunberg, she's not an American, but she is beloved by all for all the work that she has done. She was also taken captive. And from what I'm hearing, they are torturing her to set an example. Greta Thunberg, the 22-year-old young lady who still looks like a little girl, who's on the autism spectrum, who has done all these things for climate change, etc. They are holding her captive, and from reports that I heard earlier today, they are torturing her, pulling her by her hair, making her kiss the Israel flag, dragging her across the floor. And in America, we're not saying anything about that. We don't have a problem with that. Let's take Greta out of it. If you just wanted to focus on Americans, you have veterans that they are holding hostage in Israel, that were taken off of these ships, that were just trying to deliver food. And Americans and people in Congress and that individual in the White House are saying nothing, doing nothing to get them back. Let's talk about the CK stuff. So you have Netanyahu, Satan Yahoo, in my opinion, has already come out 6 different times to claim that he had nothing to do with CK's death. Name another leader of a country who has had to make that statement. I'll wait. There's not one. There's not one. Because days before, actually weeks leading up to CK's untimely death, he started speaking out against Israel. He started casting doubt about his allegiance to, and why do they have a problem with me bringing certain people on stage when I have my events for Turning Point and release the Epstein files. He started speaking about all these things, and then all of a sudden he's gone. And the only leader of a country who has felt compelled to defend himself about 6 or 7 times has been Satan Yahoo. Now, why do you think that is? Candace Owens is digging down, she's digging deep, she's got her own theory that she's putting out there, and she's questioning Turning Point. She's questioning these people that were in the Hamptons, whomever these Jewish donors were that were trying to give CK this money. She's digging. And honestly, I don't agree with her. I'm going to say it again. I don't agree with her on anything else. But this stuff is making sense to me. Because for some reason, America has become Israel's bitch. Netanyahu, he just comes in and out. He's a war criminal. Netanyahu is a war criminal, and he comes in and out of the US like nothing, with no problems. I want you to go back and watch the video that I did about October 7th. I want you to go back and watch the video that I did about October 7th, when this entire thing started. I want you to pay attention to the details. I want you to really pay attention to and critically think for yourself. Does this make sense? Does it make sense to you that the IDF and Netanyahu did not call for any type of response to protect his own people for 7 to 8? Some people said they waited up to 20 hours hiding in ditches and in brush and in the woods, and still waiting for law enforcement, waiting for military, waiting for some response. Hour after hour after hour after hour, which, by the way, keep in mind that everyone in Israel is the IDF. They are trained from a very young age. They all have to go through the military training. It is required. That's why when you saw on October 7th, October 8th, October 9th, all of those people, young people that were leaving from colleges, that, first, second years in their jobs, they were leaving to go back to Israel to fight. They had already been trained, and they were living here in the US. And having that knowledge, with that knowledge, you're telling me that you couldn't have responded to your civilians earlier than 6, 7, 8 hours after this supposed attack by Hamas? Also in this video, which I've already put out there, Netanyahu had been paying Hamas suitcases of cash, millions of dollars in suitcases for years. For years, until somebody came in, got elected, and said, hey, you know what? We can't be giving them cash anymore. The payments didn't stop. It was just the way that they were paying. That changed. But I want you to question why. Why would he be paying Hamas? Why would he be paying Hamas to stay in place, to stay in leadership in Gaza? And then also there's the oil, the drilling for the oil offshore. That happened, what, in June or July of that year, before October 7th. And look at the countries that were involved in that. Netanyahu gave the go-ahead, but look at all the countries that are involved in that. So we got Felon 47 here, who has, been elected and has been the useful idiot to Satan Yahoo. And yeah. I just, what happened to America first? What happened to America first, my God? My God. What happened to America first? Why aren't you demanding America first? Those are your tax dollars too. You complain about, they got into college with affirmative action. They got into college with DEI, and I couldn't go. When you could, but I couldn't go. Maybe, just maybe, there would have been more money for you, more scholarships out there for you, if our money wasn't being sent to put Israelis through college versus you. My God. America first. Remember all what Felon 47 campaigned on? America first. Maybe you wouldn't be in dire straits in a couple of months, not being able to go to the dentist or to the doctor. Maybe your rural hospital wouldn't be shutting down right now if our federal tax dollars were not going to make sure that Israelis had universal health care. But you don't. And this is for all of us. This is for all of us. Left, right, in between, it doesn't matter. Why are we Israel's bitch? How did America become Israel's bitch? That's what we should all be asking. That's the question of the day. That's the $1 billion question of the day.